here we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and walk you guys through what we're doing today. If you guys look, we have one person who did the breaking news, so we're just share that out. Yeah, you guys forgot to do the breaking news. You did it? No way. Okay, well, 2 of you guys did it. In my other class, we had this like really good breaking news, Samoa news by Samoa News. So this guy, one of the students pretended to be one of his funny uncles and was like doing the breaking news outside. It was hilarious. Anyway, that doesn't mean anything because you have to see it to like actually believe it. So anyway, we're going to just share out the breaking news and then the poems just to start off our day so that we can kind of get our bearings. We're also going to be talking stories about Roger and Piggy. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to read the last couple pages together to close out the Lord of the Flies. So obviously today we're saying bye to Piggy and the boys on the island. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to put you guys into partners with partners, and then you guys are going to create an interview with one of the characters from the island. So one partner is going to be the reporter, and the other partner is going to be one of the boys. So bring out your best British accents. Okay, we're going to be doing that. Okay, so if you guys look, after next week, you're going to come back and share out your interview. We're just going to do it live because the video sometimes is really hard to make or whatever. So get your filters ready, get your outfits ready. Okay, and then next week, we're going to start our final project for this class. Why? If you look, it's kind of crazy. We have 1, 2, 3 weeks till your final exam. And then you're pretty much done with school. I know, it's sad. Yes, we're going to have to take a break for the summer. Okay, but basically after May 17th, you're done with your odd classes, I think it is. Okay, what's your question, Hayden? Yeah. Yeah, so today, right? Yeah. The 4th one is the final exam, so we have 5 classes. So it's gonna come through pretty quickly. Your final project can be done in partners or it can be done by yourself. Okay, it just depends. Just to give you guys a heads up on what your final is, it's not going to be like this 100 question, multiple choice, blah, blah, blah. We're not doing that, okay? Because, I mean, I think you guys know the times have changed and like if you need to know an answer, you're going to look it up, right? So that's kind of like a no-brainer. Like I think education has shifted in that sense. So what we're going to be doing is called a performance task, where you're going to demonstrate what you've learned throughout the year. So you can pick like your most important moments of learning, okay? And somehow create a performance task for it. So it can be really anything, a poem, if you want to create a movie, anything. If you play, you guys, anybody play musical instruments? Sing? Hello, you sing? Oh yeah.
Definitely not.
Okay. All right. So we'll have to just figure it out. Okay. So we'll do that. And basically that's it. You'll have one more Membean quiz coming up at the end of the school year. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. We're going to read a couple more articles or essays. And then we're closing out the year. Okay. So if you guys want to bring up your grade, this would be the time to start getting your extra credit points for Membean. Okay, and then if your grade is really ugly, then you need to make sure you set up an appointment with me on Fridays. Okay. they were pretty good though. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, so I'm just gonna split you guys up into, wait, let me see. How many of you guys are here today? You know what? There's only 5 of you guys here today. So I think what we'll just do is just share out in just this main room. So go ahead and open up your poems and then also your videos for the breaking news. Okay. And then we'll just go in order. You can share out either poem. You have to create 2 poems. So you're going to share out the one that you think is better, the better one. Okay. So I'm going to stop my share. As you share, you're going to share your screen with us. Okay, so that when you read your poems to us, you're going to also share the words on the screen so that we can see while you're reading it to us. Okay, so I'll just call on Kalayo, go first. Okay, everybody else should have their stuff ready to go. Their poems. Okay, Kalal, you ready?
Almost. Is still trying to get to my poem.
Yeah, my last class, we had like all our computers are like having like the worst Monday ever. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, share your screen and then read your poem. Oh my God, stop making your hair, Missy Moo. That thing is not even on. Oh my gosh.
Okay. The character was the island. Small island ferociously lures stranger to its shores. Durable fire endlessly burns through the night. Feral pigs wildly roam the forest. Mysterious creepers gently hanging over branches. Rescue boat blindly passes without warning. Meaningless hope mercilessly taken from those who are stranded. Thank you.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay. Do you have your breaking news?
No, I
Oh
do
yeah.
not.
Okay, Caleb, you're next.
Okay, I'm gonna do the Simon one. Peaceful Simon, always kind to the kids. Large jungle, lost in a maze in a wide jungle. Dead lord of the flies, delusional talking to a pig on a stick. Smart introvert lurking, watching the chaos. Loving, heart in the right place, usually helps everybody. Right thing, humanity, having morals, and listens to his heart. Curious and wanders, walking, exploring for things to help. Knows the right things, self-observer, smartly knowing what's happening.
Okay, right on. All right, next we'll go with Hayden.
A solitary introvert placidly searches for the beast that lurches as the baffling jungle slowly shifts under the lost boy's noses. The inner beast uncontrollably feasts on the rules of society. The mysterious choir boy sprouts a dubious suspicion of fear. The normal Simon forcibly fastens his gate of exhoration as the roamer relentlessly searches for his satisfaction. The still mountain unmovingly stands in silence while the curious observer fizzles with his thoughts.
Nice. I like the alliteration in your poem and the use of Membing words. I think they're Membing words, yeah, the dubious. Sweet. Very good. Came out pretty good. All right. Kaheleolani?
Do I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Peaceful introvert silently observes the chaos brewing around the fire. Tame peacemaker cautiously stabilizes the fearful yet headstrong boys. Hopeful, hopeful optimist affectionately inspires, but others choose to silence him. Daring explorer aimlessly roams, losing themselves in the sea of trees. The magic of the lush forest mesmerizes with mystery and elegance. Formidable butterflies ominously whispers, invading the mind of the hopeful.
Nice. Do you also have your breaking news?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to get that one up and running, and then we'll go with other stuff?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Melissa, you ready?
Hey, so my character was Simon. Silence yells hush secretly in the night. Floaters strolling alone graciously in their lonesome. Introvert hides unattended, fearfully in the shadows. Seeker seeks, looking excitedly in their space. Jungle twisting, killing savagely around the island, like the beast hidden inside.
Ooh, I like that last line. Nice. Okay, and then do you have your breaking news up and running?
Can't you just watch it? Because I don't like it.
Oh no, we want to share.
No.
Yes, because Kahele Alani is going to share too, so you share.
Oh, that's a message. Can she go first?
Okay.
Okay.
Kahele Alani, you have to try stop your share, and then go ahead and click on the there's a button, a little button. When you click the share screen, there's a little button below that says share sound. Try do it again.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cannot hear you. Do you have earphones on?
Do I have earphones on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have to take off your earphones and then raise the volume.
Okay.
Yeah. You have 43 messages in your inbox, by the way. It's a lot. Try raise the volume right below your chin. Try. Oh. Alyssa, stop playing with your hair. Okay, let's try Alyssa's then.
Welcome to today's breaking news. So yesterday, Ralph and Piggy met at the beach and talked about what they did the night before. Ralph pointed out the fact that it was murder, and Piggy tried to deny it. Back at Jack's beach arrived, Jack ordered one of the boys to tie Wilfred up so he could beat him. Jack's tribe questions their actions about the night before towards the beast. That night, Jack goes to the boys' camp, Ralph and Peggy's camp, and attacks them. The little hens are told to go back to sleep as oh no! The video cut. I wasn't done yet.
Hmm.
Could you hear it?
Yeah, we could hear it. Alrighty, thank you for sharing. So what we're doing is we were practicing because we're trying to figure out how to do this interview. If you're going to do it live or if you're going to create a video, it's up to you. Okay. So we'll get going with that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and transition onto chapters 10 and 11 first. Okay, so let's get into the chat. If you guys have notes, it'd be wonderful to use them at this point. Okay, so let's just go ahead and share out your thoughts on Roger. What do we know about Roger? It seems as if Roger just popped up into the story. But if you were to look back at your notes, hopefully, right, you would know that Roger is actually present from early on in the story. Okay, so go ahead in the chat, go ahead and type in some things about Roger. What else? Because he's the one who kills Piggy. Yeah. Right. So, very good. Oop, yep. Okay, very good. Kaheleolani, go ahead and share about Roger.
I said that he is a part of Jack's group and is very loyal to him. And I think that he really proves his loyalty, I guess, when he kills Piggy, when Jack and Mouth were like fighting and Piggy was trying to like tell them like about the conch and like its significance, I guess.
Very good. His loyalty to Jack is really interesting, very powerful. Yeah. Alyssa, go ahead.
I question his acts because he is the oldest and he should know better than to do certain things. And the fact that he's loyal to someone that said he was gonna beat a kid, kind of crazy.
Right, a lot of red flags. Okay, Caleb, go ahead.
Like you could see in the beginning, like middle way to the book, he's like starting to become like more dangerous because he was throwing the rocks at the little kid. So it was kind of like a foreshadowing of him killing Piggy, the rock.
Excellent point. So we remember the whole like busting up the little kids' castles and throwing rocks real close to the boys, but not hitting them, right? That stands out because us growing up going to the beach, right? We know that that's like the majorest rule, right? Don't throw rocks, and then also don't mess with other kids' sand castles, right? I mean, if you do that, then the moms on the beach going to definitely throw blows, right? I mean, they're gonna be like, hey, your kid did this to my kid, so now what, right? And so it's a very memorable moment, also because he knows that there are rules at that point, right? He kind of throws a rock enough to miss the kids, but not like far enough to say he was joking, right? Okay, so Hayden, go ahead and talk stories about Roger.
I think he's a follower, and he's like one of Jack's right hand men. Him and Maurice, I think. Yeah.
Very good. They say that these types of people, right, they hang in the back, but they're building inside until they respond, right? Until their thoughts become actions. And so it's a really interesting point in the book, right? It's kind of like when you hear of people who do those mass shootings, right? We're like, oh, that person used to be a normal person, and then something happens and they just flip. It's really spooky, actually.
Like he didn't want to be the first one to start doing things like this. He was like watching, and then when he saw people doing it, like, oh, okay, maybe the truth. So now he's starting to act more like
Right. So Hayden just brought up in class that it was like Roger needed somebody to be the first, and then he was going to follow, right? So even this kind of reminds me of that January 6th insurrection that happened at the U.S. Capitol. Like, I would think that a number of them wouldn't have done what they did, but when that whole frenzy started at the U.S. Capitol, those people basically like lost their minds, and kind of created acts of treason, I think, against our government. So very interesting. Anybody else want to say something? Kaheleolani? Want to add anything else? You guys good? Okay, go ahead. Let's move on to Piggy. Go ahead, in the chat. Just go ahead and just summarize, what did Piggy's death symbolize? So sometimes it's good to read what other people are posting in real time so that you can either not repeat what somebody's saying or it confirms, your thought process. So let's take a look. Mhm. Waiting for 2 more responses. No, we're good. Oh, very good responses, you guys. Caleb's one in particular about, there was a difference between Piggy's death and Simon's death, right? I mean, one was really done with intent and the other one was done maybe just in a frenzy and maybe even on accident. Let's see. Kalahikiola, can you talk about your response a little bit more?
I forgot to read, but from previous chapters, I know that Ralph was kind of, I guess you could say like Ralph. I mean, Piggy was Ralph's second-hand man, but like so those loyal to Ralph kind of looked up to him and followed his kind of like followed by example. So I think that by Piggy dying, I think they'll lose that example and possibly faith within Ralph and his actions.
Very good. So if you know anything about leadership, leaders need good people around them. And leaders also need people that will tell it to them straight, So like the loyalty, but also the honesty as a combination really helps a leader in general. Okay, so very good point on that. Kaheleolani, can you talk a little bit about what you wrote?
I thought that Piggy's death symbolizes chaos and like what is it? The boys like savagery, I guess, because when Piggy died, the conch like also was shattered, and that was one of the like first rules they created about like if you have it, you get to speak. So since it's like shattered, I think it represents like complete loss of like civilization.
I was muted, darn it. I was muted. Alyssa, could you add on to Kahela Lani because you guys had similar ideas?
So like in the beginning, like they all started picking on Piggy, but he also pointed out a lot of good facts about how okay, wait. Okay, so I think that it represents the loss of independence and civilization and how and chaos because basically Piggy had the mindset of if they were with their parents and stuff, so he acted as if he were with them. He pointed out facts when they were in the wrong. So he kind of like once they lost that, there's no one to prove them wrong.
That is a wonderful response. Piggy was he like held up the expectations, right, of being civilized as being these British boys, right? Quite interesting. And that's how you know you've been raised right. You don't need your parents around to be able to act right because you understand what's right and wrong. So I'm pretty sure that the kids that I see on screen right now, you guys all kind of come from good backgrounds where you know what's right and what's wrong. And you don't need your parents to be around, okay, to make those decisions, right? Or you have like really strong foundation from your grandparents even, okay? You can hear their voices in your head when you're messing up, right? Alyssa, you wanted to say something? It looks like you had a eureka moment.
Yeah. The first one was absolutely wrong. I do a lot of bad things with my parents. My grandparents, though, I'm scared of them people, and not like my mom's side. My mom's side is like the really nice white people. Okay, my dad's side, local papa and grandma. My great grandma's still alive. Scary.
Yep.
Some people are scary.
Yep, you are their descendants, so it's very important that you set yourself up to represent the rest of your families. Yeah. So even for me, like being the oldest, right? I don't know where you guys are in your mo'oko, how of your family, but being the oldest, my twin and I had to set the standard. I mean, honestly, my little sisters wouldn't bring their like boyfriends around or whatever because they were scared to death of disappointing us. And now we really don't have to worry about who they date because they know what is acceptable for themselves, which is really cool. And so I don't know if you're like the older sibling or the younger one, but you know there are certain things that you can and cannot do. So anyway, thank you for bringing that up. That was really an excellent response. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our books, okay, because we're going to finish out this last part. We've already said goodbye to Piggy. Okay, so now we're going to say goodbye to the boys on the island. What I'm going to have you guys do is go to page 199. Everybody can find page 199. Hayden, do you have your book or you got to get it online? Okay. So let me see, how can we find this? Can you do like a command F to find or no? Okay, so It's gonna start at the ululation spread from shore to shore. So I'm gonna put that in the chat. So in case you guys are using the PDF or whatever, it should say on page 199, the ululation spread from shore to shore. Okay, and that is basically the second full paragraph on page 199. Did you guys find it? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, good, good. So before we start, you guys can pull this up later, but on YouTube, if you type in ululation, there is an example of ululation, a 30-second clip, and it's kind of bizarre. But if you've ever played Cowboys and Indians when you're little, you know the like that's what ululation is. That there's an actual word for it, right? If this were a normal school year and we were all in class, anytime the word ululation would come up, you would have to make that noise in class altogether. Right. Thank goodness. So anyway, you know, a little bit of class participation, but what we're going to do is we're going to start there. There's several things I want you to notice because this is going to help you with your final assignment for the Lord of the Flies. And that is, I want you to notice alliteration, imagery, and similes, okay? So as you guys know, William Golding actually writes like a poem. Like there's times in the story where he writes as if he's writing a really long poem, okay? So the ending of this will sound like that. You're going to hear the repetition of beginning consonant sounds, which is alliteration. You're going to hear a lot of like repeating F sounds at the top of page 200. And then you're just going to start noticing all the alliteration that comes up toward the end. Okay. All right. So as you guys know, we're past the point where the whole island is on fire, basically, right? And Ralph is being hunted by Jack and his tribe, right? And he's now basically kind of like a trapped little pig, right? He's trapped in the bushes, and now he's basically facing his death. There's one thing that was brought up in the last class that hasn't been brought up yet, so I'm just going to bring it up. And that is the symbolism of the stick sharpened at both ends, right? What is the symbolism of that? What does that represent? In the chat, you can go ahead and type it in there and we'll see if we can get that. What would that be, right? There's a stick. At one point, it was just one side was sharpened. And then at another point, both sides were sharpened. What could that represent? A stick sharpened at both ends. Ooh, okay, double-edged sword. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So what is the sword represent though? That would be something to think about. If it's a double-edged sword, what is the sword? Okay, maybe the freedom. Okay, their freedom to be who they are. Okay, maybe that would be good. What else? Kaheleolani, what do you think the stick sharpened at both ends represents?
It could be that that like at first the like one side sharpened is like Jack and his group, while Ralph and his group is like the unsharpened side, you know. But then like near the end, he may start like giving in, which is why it's like the other side is sharpened.
Ooh, very good. Okay, so we're going to start the reading. You guys are going to be reading. Do me a big favor. Go into your canvas and hit the next button. The next button will be your final thoughts. So you can take notes as you guys are reading. Okay, you're going to capture your final thoughts on William Golding's novel, The Lord of the Flies. What was the greatest lesson you took from this novel? Okay, so that's going to be about a paragraph response. And then the second question is going to be more like a brainstorm for you guys. And that would be, who would you like to interview on the island? What setting would you choose? Explain. Okay, so this is just you initially thinking, you know what? If there ever were a trial and I were a reporter, who would I want to interview from the island? Dead or alive? Okay, could be the ghost of Piggy. Okay, something like that. All right, here we go. Oh no! Go, hurry, go. You're gonna miss the end because we're gonna read the end now. But that's okay, just go. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to put mine up and then you can, yeah, so that it's not, it's going to be funny kind if not, that's why. Okay, you guys ready? Can you hear that? Yeah. Okay, so put down your volume and then I'm going to put mine up. Gosh.
Watched, the sunlight in every patch blinked at him. This was so like the curtain that flapped in his brain that for a moment he thought the blinking was inside him. But then the patches blinked more rapidly, dulled and went out, so that he saw that a great heaviness of smoke lay between the island and the sun. If anyone peered under the bushes,
Oh, hang on, that's not the right place. It should be 33, 33, there. Okay, it should start with the ululation spread.
to shore, the savage knelt down by the edge of the thicket, and there were lights flickering in the forest behind him. You could see a knee disturb the mold, now the other, 2 hands, a spear, a face. The savage peered into the obscurity beneath the thicket. You could tell that he saw light on this side and on that, but not in the middle. There, in the middle was a blob of dark, and the savage wrinkled up his face, trying to decipher the darkness. The seconds lengthened. Ralph was looking straight into the savage's eyes. Don't scream. You'll get back. Now he's seen you. He's making sure. A stick sharpened. Ralph screamed, a scream of fright and anger and desperation. His legs straightened. The screams became continuous and foaming. He shot forward, burst the thicket, was in the open, screaming, snarling, bloody. He swung the stake and the savage tumbled over, but there were others coming toward him, crying out. He swerved as the spear flew past and then was silent, running. All at once, the lights flickering ahead of him merged together. The roar of the forest rose to thunder, and a tall bush directly in his path burst into a great fan-shaped flame. He swung to the right, running desperately fast, with the heat beating on his left side and the fire racing forward like a tide. The ululation rose behind him and spread along, a series of short, sharp cries, the sighting call. A brown figure showed up at his right and fell away. They were all running, all crying out madly. You could hear them crashing in the undergrowth, and on the left was the hot, bright thunder of the fire. He forgot his wounds, his hunger and thirst, and became fear. Hopeless fear on flying feet, rushing through the forest toward the open beach. Spots jumped before his eyes and turned into red circles that expanded quickly till they passed out of sight. Below him, someone's legs were getting tired, and the desperate ululation advanced like a jagged fringe of menace and was almost overhead. He stumbled over a root, and the cry that pursued him rose even higher. He saw a shelter burst into flames, and the fire flapped at his right shoulder, and there was the glitter of water. Then he was down, rolling over and over in the warm sand, crouching with arm to ward off, trying to cry for mercy. staggered to his feet, tensed for more terrors, and looked up at a huge peaked cap. It was a white-topped cap, and above the green shade of the peak was a crown, an anchor, gold foliage. He saw white drill, epaulettes, a revolver, a row of gilt buttons down the front of a uniform. A naval officer stood on the sand, looking down at Ralph in wary astonishment. On the beach behind him was a cutter, her bows hauled up and held by 2 ratings. In the stern sheets, another rating held a submachine gun. The ululation faltered and died away. The officer looked at Ralph doubtfully for a moment, then took his hand away from the butt of the revolver. "Hello?" Squirming a little, conscious of his filthy appearance, Ralph answered shyly. "Hello?" The officer nodded, as if a question had been answered. "Are there any adults, any grown-ups with you?" Dumbly, Ralph shook his head. He turned a half pace on the sand. A semicircle of little boys, their bodies streaked with colored clay, sharp sticks in their hands, were standing on the beach making no noise at all. "Fun and games," said the officer. The fire reached the coconut palms by the beach and swallowed them noisily. A flame, seemingly detached, swung like an acrobat and licked up the palm heads on the platform. The sky was black. The officer grinned cheerfully at Ralph. "We saw your smoke. What have you been doing? Having a war or something?" Ralph nodded. The officer inspected the little scarecrow in front of him. The kid needed a bath, a haircut, a nose wipe, and a good deal of ointment. "Nobody killed, I hope. Any dead bodies?" "Only 2, and they've gone." The officer leaned down and looked closely at Ralph. "2? Killed?" Ralph nodded again. Behind him, the whole island was shuddering with flame. The officer knew as a rule when people were telling the truth. He whistled softly. Other boys were appearing now, tiny tots, some of them, brown, with the distended bellies of small savages. One of them came close to the officer and looked up. I'm... But there was no more to come. Percival Wemyss Madison sought in his head for an incantation that had faded clean away. The officer turned back to Ralph. "We'll take you off. How many of you are there?" Ralph shook his head. The officer looked past him to the group of painted boys. "Who's boss here?" "I am," said Ralph loudly. A little boy who wore the remains of an extraordinary black cap on his red hair and who carried the remains of a pair of spectacles at his waist started forward, then changed his mind and stood still. "We saw your smoke, and you don't know how many of you there are?" "No, sir." "I should have thought," said the officer as he visualized the search before him. "I should have thought that a pack of British boys, you're all British, aren't you, would have been able to put up a better show than that. I mean..." "It was like that at first," said Ralph. "Before things..." He stopped. "We were together then." The officer nodded helpfully. "I know. Jolly good show, like the Coral Island." Ralph looked at him dumbly. For a moment, he had a fleeting picture of the strange glamour that had once invested the beaches. But the island was scorched up like dead wood. Simon was dead, and Jack had... The tears began to flow, and sobs shook him. He gave himself up to them now for the first time on the island. Great shuddering spasms of grief that seemed to wrench his whole body. His voice rose under the black smoke before the burning wreckage of the island, and infected by that emotion, the other little boys began to shake and sob too. And in the middle of them, with filthy body, matted hair, and unwiped nose, Ralph wept for the end of innocence, the darkness of man's heart, and the fall through the air of the true, wise friend called Piggy. The officer, surrounded by these noises, was moved and a little embarrassed. He turned away to give them time to pull themselves together and waited, allowing his eyes to rest on the trim cruiser in the distance.
Alrighty, let's go and get into our canvas. There's a major quote at the very end Okay, I think you guys know which one it is, but it's when it says Ralph wept for the end of innocence and the darkness of man's heart and the fall through the air of the true wise friend called Piggy. Kind of late to realize, but I guess at least he realized that Piggy was his really his true friend. Quite interesting. Okay, get into Canvas. Okay, you should be able to respond now to the final thoughts, the reflection of the Lord of the Flies. What is the greatest lesson you took away from the novel? And then, if you could interview one person on the island, um, who would it be? Okay. Yes. Okay, so get that done. Worth 10 points. Okay, make sure you have like somewhere between 3 and 4 sentences for the first question. And then the second question, same 3 to 4 sentences at least.
Can I use the bathroom, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome. So Caleb, we're just answering the reflection questions. Okay, so three to four sentences per response, please. Okay, now that I'm back to recording, we have a couple issues here because we have like 4 people in cohort B and 2 people in cohort A. So the people in cohort A will be working together with it to do the interview. Okay, and then for right now, let's have the 3 of you guys, Kala, Alyssa, and Kaheleolani, you guys 3 work together. So one person will be the interviewer, and then 2 people will choose characters to interview. Okay, so as you guys do this, okay, we gotta somehow work in Josh as well. Okay, for cohort B. So by next class, you're going to be presenting your interview to the class. Okay, in class. Okay, it's not going to be a video because the video gets kind of like cumbersome sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't upload or whatever it is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to plan for the best and hope that it turns out. So for us, the cohort B kids, go ahead. Let's have just one person make the doc. Okay, the worksheet on the interview, the witness. So basically, the premise of this assignment is that after the boys get rescued off the island, right? Some time has passed, and that's where you guys are going to come into play as far as your creativity. So, are you going to have the boys be old men? Okay, so are you going to interview them 30 years from now? Are you going to interview maybe the ghost of Piggy, right? In the past, the kids have been very creative as far as interviewing like the naval officer. That one was a pretty cool task. If you're working in a group of 3, so cohort B, what's really cool is that you guys can select 2 characters that are on opposite ends. Okay, it just depends on what you guys want to do. And then hopefully we'll have Josh come in tomorrow so you guys can separate then. But you guys might as well just plan for right now, okay? The 3. So if you guys look at the worksheet, everybody can see the worksheet. Yeah. So what we have here is you guys have to select the setting and the characters. So you could potentially be a reporter interviewing Simon or interviewing Roger or Jack or whatever or whoever, like even at a coffee shop, right? It can just be a random place. Maybe even in jail, right? Maybe even like in the other class, one group is interviewing Ralph and Jack and they're in a psych ward. Okay. You might go further on down the timeline and have an interview with one of the characters who is now a dad or a grandpa. It just depends on where, and you're gonna have to choose the setting. So it should make sense, right? Would Ralph become a well-adjusted adult in his later years, or do you think he would be this like troubled person, right? Definitely Roger, right? Would probably you have to interview him in jail. Okay. So it just depends. You guys got to figure that out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break you guys up into groups. You guys in here, you don't have to go into the breakout room, obviously, okay? And then, actually, I don't have to break you guys up. You guys can just, so you guys can just like get off of Zoom, okay? And then you guys can work together. And then you three on Zoom, you guys stay on Zoom, okay? And then you guys can talk to each other. Okay, so the doc is made, correct? Did you share it with me?
It's in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, you already appointed yourself as the interviewer. I see. So accents need to happen. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so the interviewer has to be British too?
Can.
Oh, and I'm the interviewer.
No, it's gonna be fun. You guys want to see? You want to see Samoa news? Samoa.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna play for you guys what this looks like because this is nuts. Holy cow. He's gonna kill me. Okay. Here. Where is my Zoom? Okay, just as an example, I really want you guys to know that this is a safe space. Okay, so when you guys do your interviews, I want you to go all out. That's how you're going to earn all of your points. You guys ready? I'm going to show it to you.
Sup? How's it? It's your brother Keoki from Samoa News, and I'm here to bring you Samoa News. So, first thing is, we're on the island of the flies. But it's nuts over here. So, what I found out was after the first night, that night that they saw Simon as the beast, bruh. There wasn't a plight after that night. So what had happened was Ralph and Piggy, they was discussing everything, but there wasn't a plight. And then the second thing is that when Ralph's group tried to meet up with Jack, Buggles Jack, they still had fidelity towards Jack because they trust him and they was faithful to him, and you know what? The third thing, boo, is that when they went to go join up with Jack was like, nah, brah, cannot. Jack was belligerent towards Ralph's group, but that's it. It is how it is, boo. It is how it is. But anyways, that was some more news, bringing you some more news. Mahalos.
How's that? I just can't believe he did that. I would have never guessed Kamakani would have done that. I mean, try wrap your brain around that. First of all, he's playing around with the word Samoa, right? And he's integrating details of Lord of the Flies and then also his Membing words. Did you notice that? It was very well done. Like that is like extra credit level. If you guys do a really good job, I don't have any problem giving you guys extra credit. Okay, so I need you guys to go all out. Okay, so go ahead, talk stories with your group. So this assignment is twofold, yeah. First is the worksheet. So I gotta see your guys' ideas written down, typed out. Okay, and then you use the chart to help you organize yourself. Yeah. What's the character's name? Did he change his name? Maybe, right? Because physical descriptions. So depending on the age, right? One of the groups in my other class is going to be interviewing the same character 10 years apart or something like that, 3 times. So each segment of the interview, the character is going to get older and older and older, which I thought was really creative. Okay, so there's that. And then the setting, the when and the where, right? So get that. The reporter or interviewer, the questions will be generated on the left-hand side. In the center, that's where the character is going to have the responses. And then this is for you guys, right? the right-hand side, the explanation or the notes is for you guys to kind of organize yourselves for the presentation. Okay, everybody clear? You guys good? Okay. Hayden and Caleb, you can get off of Zoom. The three of you guys gotta work together. Cam? Okay, Kala, Alyssa, and Kaheleolani. Okay. So you guys gotta talk to each other. Kaheleolani, do you have a British accent?
I talk in a British accent all the time.
Oh, how fun. I cannot wait. Okay, so if also if like one of you guys goes all out, okay, then one of you guys gets the extra credit. But if all three of you guys go all out and do a really good job, then all of you guys get the extra credit. Okay, so you got to bring your A game.
Kola, you better use the accent. You better
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, okay.
Come on. You suck.
Gonna have to practice.
Come on, try it. Try it.
Yeah, you're funny. You're
Fine, then don't
It's
get extra
recorded.
credit.
This is recorded.
Oh my gosh. I one time I sung. It was horrible, but I did it. It was quite funny. Okay, what character do you guys want? Oh no, he cut his hair. Kalama cut his hair. He looks weird like that.
Who cut there?
He cut his hair. The teacher.
Oh, yeah. I still cannot edit, Alyssa. I still cannot edit.
What do you mean cannot edit?
The dog.
Oh, okay. There we go. Got it. Stay refresh. Refresh. It is so bloody hot in here. Did you hear me?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, the teacher. Did you hear me? It's so bloody hot. I'm sweating so bad.
So you guys can also use filters, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to like video record or use filters to bring that extra element in there, I would. Okay.
Okay, wait, let me look. Wait, no, I have restrictions on my phone. Never mind.
Wait, when does this due?
Next class. So be creative quickly. Okay. So
Next
tomorrow is all of you guys, right? This whole time tomorrow, cohort B, you're going to meet and figure this out. Okay. But for right now, get it going. So my suggestion for you guys is tonight. Halahikiola, where's your head? I cannot see your head.
He's there in this whole
I would
thing.
suggest doing the membeing tonight so that you can use the rest of the cohort B to really get this going, and then maybe Friday finish. Okay, Friday get everything done. Okay, it's up to you guys. Listen, what are you doing? Stop fucking around. Are you going to paint yourself? Are you the ghost of Piggy?
No, I'm the interviewer.
Oh, come on.
I can make my face look weird for the interview.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you want to see this filter on Snapchat? Find it. Here it is.
What?
didn't even look.
Oh my gosh.
It's a mask. Look at it. Oh my gosh, Kalal, we should do masks tomorrow in class.
Yeah,
look at this
definitely
one.
not.
Look at this one.
Butterflies.
Come getting into my hair. I just did my hair, and then she was yelling at me because I was doing my hair.
Yeah, no, I
What
can
did you
see.
Dude, I have 2 zits on my face. Damn, that filter is so ugly. Okay, what character guys you want? What character?
Jack? Question mark.
Huh? You want Jack?
Jack.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me write this. Claw is Jack. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get the mud mask all over my laptop. That's okay. Jack. Okay. Tyler, what do you want?
I'll be Ralph, I guess. The opposite. I'll be Ralph.
Okay. Ralph. Would you say Jack's in jail? Playing with him? Why not?
No. No, thank you.
The mud mask, make your face clean.
Clean face. Thank you very much.
Do you? Oh yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing? Jack, Ralph, where's the setting?
I don't know.
Interview the witness. What's the setting?
Whatever you want the setting to be. Ready for
Jail.
this? I'm a child of God.
We're doing.
I cannot breathe. Where is my face stuff? Here. I'll type it off before she comes back and she sees it and she yells at me again. Yeah. She really likes to yell at me now. And just because of that, I'm gonna be in her class next year. She's gonna love it.
Kyle, what setting are you thinking of doing?
I don't know.
Ralph.
Jack in jail.
Jack's in jail. Then Ralph can be in coffee shop.
I feel like Ralph would be in the army.
We can't just make assumptions.
Well, we can't just assume that he became a parent afterwards. Oh my god, it's so hot in here. So bloody hot. And I period. You tell him bye bye. Oh my god. That's cool. Teacher. It's so hot. Oh my gosh, she can't hear us. Clark is supposed to be helping me.
I've been helping. Come on now.
Have you? Okay, another
Jack
setting.
is gonna be in jail,
Yeah.
and then Ralph can be in back at the island. Nah, I don't know. That wouldn't make sense. Jack could be. I don't know. It's for like coffee shop or Starbucks or.
Think about it. What's in Starbucks back in 1980s?
Possibly. But they have a coffee shop.
I'd say he's in the
So
army. like his father.
Maybe. Okay.
Dude,
Yo, yo.
can Ralph be in the army?
You're asking the wrong person. Kahele is Ralph. I'm
Oh
Jack.
yeah.
Yeah, Ralph can be in the army. That's fine.
Okay.
So don't forget, you guys can use like background filters, yeah?
Oh my god, you can hear us.
Of course, I can hear you guys.
You're funny.
Yeah, stop swearing at each other. And look, I'm still recording.
I wasn't
Just
swearing.
joking.
Yes, she was.
I
She was hurting my
can.
feelings.
Yeah.
I can.
Just hurting my
Yes,
feelings.
I can, right? You bloody wench.
Bloody
Oh, how fun. We should have been talking like this since the get-go.
Oh my god, you think? I don't think Claw can do it.
Oh my gosh.
The bloody wench doesn't know how to
Oh.
talk.
Hello, you better be practicing.
Claw, don't make me fail, dude. Even though I'm
Yes,
already
I am
failing, which no one needs to know, but still.
Or Kala could
I'm-
be the interviewer.
No,
Yeah, he could be brought him up.
no,
Brought him up,
No.
coming at you from the Big Island News Now, Hawaii News Now.
no.
You could be Guy
no,
Hoggy. Holy cow. Guy Hoggy's on.
No.
Guy
The waves
Hoggy.
coming in. 30-foot waves
Guy
coming.
Hoggy.
5 feet. You ever seen
Okay.
Guy Hoggy memes?
Don't we have like 5
You know who he
minutes
is?
left class?
Gonna be sunny and starts pouring.
It is so sunny.
Not over here.
I'm burning. It's so bloody hot. I want to go to the beach. Bloody wench. I got AirPods too. My dad won't give me my Apple Watch back. Come on. Mhm.
Okay, you guys, be ready to share out at the beginning of class what you guys are thinking about doing. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Bye.
I want to watch Tinkerbell.
Do your
I'm gonna watch
membean.
Tinkerbell
Do your
now.
membean.
Yeah, but I want to watch Tinkerbell.
I don't know who Tinkerbell is. Ending it.
Going